Hello, this is Rex's Fry, and your thoughts on the sixth batch of zoopedia entries now released, and it's pretty much so this is similar to speak unfortunately, but let's go get it. So, but to start off with, we got the usual pair of returning exhibit animals. Please stop returning exhibit animals frontier. It's really become more annoying and more frustrating. So America Bullfrog got the exhibit off the North America pack, so I think the common theme with the two returning pseudos is not a, but also of a two aquatic exhibit. So playing that Planet 2 is good to have all the aquatic exhibitors on the first game. In which can sort of make sense considering that they're definitely the most popular regular exhibit animal. I still would have preferred it if some of them with new species that are more common in captivity and have been highly requested since the first game was released. But it's of course the model's been left unchanged. Which North America Bullfrog makes sense. The model was already very accurate, so I do think it's amongst the best exhibit animal. So in the first game, and then we got one of three. Should have already confirmed that I've just had the zoopedia entry, so we got the remaining hero fish that's been confirmed yet to have a zoopedia, the black spotted pufferfish, and so the inflating. This is a more muted individual, so demonstrating the fact so this will have color variations just like in real life. But I think definitely one of the most interesting reveals, and probably the most interesting one, is the only entirely new animal that's been in this opinion entries. It just has yet another fish, still no new habitat animals, still no new exhibit animals, still no new flying birds, but hopefully that will change at some point in August. And this since this is I think probably the smallest freshwater fish that's been confirmed so recording, and I will say it does make sense for it to be on here. It's a very common sight in captivity. It is even kept as a pet. It's the most sort of loach for its and these sort of the dark coloured stripes there. So see, and then the other turning exhibit animal is the northern. So the first game was the northern director, but just like with the common blue tongue thing, they've gone for a non-specific route, which that makes more sense considering that most places don't specify which subspecies direct. As though it was why would it was less obvious that it was the northern subspecies more specifically, since it was simply labeled as the Diamondback Terrapin rather than northern Diamondback Terrapin, despite the scientific name saying otherwise. Again, they left the model unchanged. This is another one, so it makes sense. Would be nice if there was color variation, but it could actually be the case that it has color variations. No, and it is definitely, I think, It's the best exhibitor. So I'm not that big into it personally because I honestly don't like, even as it's a big fan. I don't like the dark tone. I just think the coloration looks ugly. So go. We got two of the short. So just had the zoopedia entries, the golden trevally, and so showing the adults here, which are more muted, unlike which are right in coloration. And we've got the Pacific sardine, one of the another fish that's been revealed since the one, and now just full-on confirmation that this is the Pacific sardine, which is I'm not sure if I've talked about before, but it's not a fantasy choice, and I get that a sardine is known for being in large shoals, and it is it serves as a more standard-looking fish, but it's a very rare sighting in captivity. So it does look very accurate, like majority of the others. It's confirmed so far. And then we've got for the returning habitat animal, which is an interesting choice, which I've known is for a lot of people is a very surprise choice. The return of the reticulated giraffe. So it does indicate that they're actually going to get two giraffes at launch, which I do think is great. It does apply that giraffe gets come back with a very different looking model. It's got more, which I'm not sure it's fully accurate, but I feel like this is probably better looking than the Maasai giraffe. So as I can tell, not someone who isn't a big fan of the Maasai giraffe model, but it makes sense for there to be two giraffes. It's not only does it give you option, but there are places that would actually house more than one type of giraffe. I know that the Columbus Zoo, for example, does house both Maasai giraffes and reticulated giraffes, and I think Yorkshire Wildlife Park is another example, houses reticulated giraffes and Rothschild giraffes. And I think that's all necessary giraffe. Since it is the most widespread one in captivity, so I'm not as bothered about the Maasai giraffe being in the game, knowing that we've got two of them. One of them is reticulated giraffe. So as I said, this batch is pretty much just being like what the other ones are. Of course, we're getting more entries for the fish. I think that we got one entirely new fish, but that's the only turns to be the only entirely new animal that gets confirmed with these superior entries. There we go. At least one returning habitat animal, sometimes two, and then a pair of returning exhibit animals, which as multiple times I'm really getting sick and tired of. I'm very desperate for a new exhibit, which I'm becoming more bored and frustrated. Might not end up being the case, and I think that's a video title would at least. So that's I think those are just getting sick and tired of all turning exhibit owls, even if they were already all these showing It's when they were making the game. Now there is two things that I want to mention, and so the is the boa constrictor, and sadly, we've got the same image for it. I'm not sure if Frontier have made so it's about the boa constrictor, knowing that this just a lot of backlash for just leaving the boa constrictor more unchanged when a lot of people don't like it, especially nowadays. So unfortunately, it wasn't like with the facility, which they did, and scientifically, a week after the entry was released. Suppose changing the model takes more effort than just simply changing the scientific name or the zoopedia. Yeah, go, and then just that, so I think switching the case, Azupi, she was left for saved for Thursday, and it's going to be a spotlight. Now, with a lot. Last week they did get the weekly zoopedia teasers, so we got the of a very long tail thing, which a lot of people are saying is a zebra shark, which is another prominent shark in captivity, and I think you can actually see it in the background of the aquarium video, mainly the showing off the black-tip reef shark. And it does seem to be that the zebra shark is going to be, it's saved for Thursday, and there's going to be a video for it. So I doubt that it's supposed to be the clown loach, knowing it's a much more and shorter fish. So there we go. I think that's all I have to say about this batch of zoopedia entries. So we'll have mixed. Oh, actually, I just something annoying thing about is that the shot that I did was for the diamondback terrapin, but I thought that it would be saved for a DLC or free update a more prominent Tetraodon in captivity, similar vein to North America bullfrog. I also thought it would be saved for a DLC or free updates, but that also ended up being the case. That's that's immediately outdated, and it took less time standard than the beaver shorts. So now I think that's all that I have to say. So I have mixed.